This is the tale of the Devil's Ear Tree. In a place not too far from where we are now stands an old craggy tree, broken off to a point long ago and round around in the shape of a great bulbous ear. And in the center of that ear is a hole that goes deep, deep, deep down into the bowels of the earth. And in there lives a whole host of tiny demons, always thirsty for their next victim, or perhaps for someone like you that might join them. And this is the legend, so they say it is true. A husband and a wife lived also not too far from here. And the wife began to exhibit some strange behavior at night. She would leave quietly, and only to come back right before dawn. And the husband became very suspicious. What was she doing out at night? And he devised a plan where he would pretend to sleep and he would follow her. The next night was a beautiful full moon, and she crept out of the bed and out of the house, and he followed her silently through the soft dewy grass, down the dusty road, down to the rusty iron fence where the graveyard is. And there, bathed in moonlight, was a giant stone slab. And on this slab lay a fresh corpse. And sitting around, preparing for a feast, were this host of tiny demons. And there, sitting near the head, was his wife, next to their king, who was slowly sharpening his knife with a sk, 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 sk. And they all began quivering with anticipation. And he began to carve and cut the body up. And they pulled and tore at organs and meat, and chewed and smacked and gobbled at all the little bits, blood running all over the place. And to conclude this unholy feast, they then passed around the head, each taking a drink. And when it reached his wife, she held it aloft and took a deep draught. And as she slowly lowered it down, her eyes peered directly into his, gleaming in the moonlight. He jumped back with a start and tried to run off, but ran smack into a tree and then fell to the ground and hit his head on a rock. Bam! And he was out. And then he began to come to again, only to realize that he was laying on that cold, sticky slab, the demons surrounding him, and his wife smiling with pointy teeth as her iron fingers clenched around his throat. And the last thing he could hear before he died was the sound of a knife going sk, 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 sk. Happy Halloween!